wanna be a number one girl. I wanna be the only one in your world. Baby, I need you in my life right now. I want you to be everything you could be. Sometimes it can be so hard. Me, I'm missing those days of late night calls on the phone, baby. I'm missing your love. Oh, you have a new love? You guys get familiar? Na 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 na. Every rock so new loving, like I wanna fly away, like a brand new dog coming down my life to say, I know you're gonna cherish me anyway. New loving, like I wanna fly away, like a brand new dove coming down my life to stay.
Viewers and subscribers, welcome back to CS World TV. If you have already subscribed to our channel, bless up. If you haven't, then why not go over and like, share, and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button. We'll be having a conversation, yes, with the one and only MTL, Miss Diva, out of Montreal. She'll be telling us about her latest work on her EP and also her new line of lipstick product. Also, please support the artist by subscribing to her YouTube channel. My name is Molten Sears alongside CP Bark, Sears World TV, and Vinci Internet Radio.
You're listening to the Fresh Clean Song. You're listening to Vinci Internet Radio. It's now 4 minutes after 4 o'clock in the nation's capital. We got with us out of Montreal, Canada, Miss Diva. Miss Diva, good afternoon and welcome to Vinci Internet Radio.
I know it's long overdue. This interview was supposed to happen from in the pandemic, but you know, as things progress, there's nothing ever before God's time, right? So glad to be here today.
Yes, here,
Now you're in the hands of Mr. Molten Sears, our host for this evening.
Yeah, thanks once again, Sip. And I just again want to say good afternoon to Radio Land, our Facebook listeners, our regular listeners, and especially those in Europe and the beautiful island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And special welcome to those from Montreal as well. I just want to welcome a very, very special guest. And when by the end of the interview, you will realize why I say special. There are many divas around, but this is one special diva, Miss Montreal Diva in the house. And Miss Diva, on Vinci in the radio, we don't say big up yourself because you're big already. So we say size up yourself for greatness. Size up yourself, Miss Diva.
May I go use that one, size up myself.
Yeah, man, for greatness, because we noticed that you've been elevating in terms of progress. You've been mashing up the place. We're gonna talk about your number one hit song.
Yeah.
Number one girl. That's what you said. One girl. Your hit song that's been mashing up the place, and we're gonna be diving into you touring with some big name artists. So size up yourself for greatness. So to begin with, Miss Diva, we just wanted to give us a synopsis of your journey. How you just started, because we know we're pressing for time a little bit, but
yeah, that's so before I even entered the reggae scene, how I grew from music, there was in two ways. I started off in church, like most singers. So I was a part of O'Brien Church of God. So I used to sing in the choir, I had a love for like the band too, especially that, it's a Pentecostal church. So in our church, we have a band, you know what I mean? My mother, who was on the radio station CKUT, I was always hearing reggae music around me. So I would see her doing shows. She used to take CKUT with her all over the place. If she wasn't emceeing a show, because she's a radio personality as well as a host, at that time, she was actually doing management for Kings of Kings, which was at the time, there was on the label Cecile, Beanie Man, Lady Saw, all of those people. So I grew up, Lady Saw, all of those people. So I grew up literally like seeing my mom manage these people. So I don't know if I would really become a dentist, but you know, what is my dad is like, oh, well, of course you would become like a singer or something like musician. Like my daytime job, very creative. I went to school for hairdressing, but like, yeah, I grew up in church first of all, and then with seeing my mom into music and stuff, like I grew to like love music just the same way she did. You know what I mean? From being around musicians, my godmother used to tour with Buju. Sometime after, I remember daycare, she used to take me to her band rehearsal. So it's like I didn't really have a choice. Music just chose me, and if we never choose music, something would have gone wrong. You understand what I mean? I would have probably ended up doing something else. You know what I mean? Other than my daytime job, which is a hairstylist, but then not being happy because music was just coming for me. I had music all around me. Basically, in my aunt that was in the church, she was a singer, you know what I mean? And I was just fascinated with just being in the choir and so on and so forth. So throughout high school, that was like my early journey of like, you know, 10, 11, 12. But like throughout high school, always doing like talent shows. Every pan knocking out of the city from I was like 14, I was there. When I got into like, maybe say 16, 17, I started to take vocal training. I took vocal training with Odessa, so I kind of took it a little seriously because I wanted to do more and more. I was crowned Montreal Dancehall Queen 2006, so I was like 18, got into the scene, got a chance to travel, go to Jamaica and stuff, but I still know that like singing was what I wanted to do, you know what I mean? So it wasn't until 2015 professionally, I was in the Roots camp and I was like writing and stuff like that. But then I hooked up with Bobby Pottinger and he's like, no, man, you can't sing. I was doing it on my own, but I just used to studio time, even if it was in Toronto, because I would be by my dad sometime in Toronto or here. I would book studio time and I used to write and I never used to put out. So Brian Codner came to me. He's like, girl, you could sing. Let's do this professionally now. So I went to the studio every week. And then they were like, nah, man, this girl really have talent. And because of the fact that I was actually working with a label, it was kind of easier for me to like take training because Bobby Pottinger, they work with like Marcia Griffiths, like most of the biggest names that do come to Montreal, they pass through their studio. So I got training from Bobby Pottinger and I wrote... My first EP was 7 Shades of Love. I got a chance to work with Macka because she was a good friend of mine from before. So I was lucky. And then...
And I say Macka, you have to say Macka Diamond because my think is that just somebody Macka, the great Macka Diamond.
Yeah, I got a chance to work with her on my first EP. So, I mean, for me, from the get-go, I was definitely blessed because when you look at artists like myself that put out a first EP, you wouldn't see big collabs with Macka Diamond and then another huge collab with Glenn Washington. You know what I mean? So that was like, for my first EP, I really did feel like blessed. Opportunities just came and I took them. And I wasn't lazy. If they called me and they're like, in at the studio, 4:00 in the morning, I was there because it's something that I definitely wanted to do. You know what I mean?
True. And that's why I say size up yourself for greatness, you know, because you have made so much progress that if someone looks at you and look at what you have achieved or the things you have done, they would think, say, like you're old and you know, but you're very young. And say, when I say old, I don't mean it that way. I mean like you're old in the business. Then that's what I should have said. You're old in the business, but yes, you're old in the business, but you also have achieved a lot within the span of time that you have been in the business. Like you said, you know, who would start it out with the first EP and then collab with Macka and stuff like that. And not only that, you have achieved the dancehall queen title even with that. So, and you're surrounded with, like you said, your mom is on the radio, but your mom is also a showbiz queen, if you want to call it, because she's one of Montreal top comedian, if not around Canada, you know, MC,
definitely.
radio personality. How much of that
has inspired me a lot? And you know, I say this on some of the interviews, but everybody's like, oh, the reason why Diva get you, she a pop dancer. No.
she feed off your mother.
I could tell you this. I remember I brought one of my first singles to her. It was called New Love. You know, New
Mm.
Love is like I wanna fly away. A very nice
Mm.
on my new EP, on my old EP, Seven Shades of Love. And it wasn't finished yet. So when I brought it to her, I was like, Mom, play this on the radio. She said, let me tell you something. This not ready yet. This one more work.
Mm.
So don't think.
That
Don't
song like
think.
that song like her, right?
Oh, my work from the bottom. I'm gonna go
Mm.
right to the top. And I remember I went back in the studio. She said, listen, there's note, the rhythm have to be fixed, notes you have to work on. She was hard on me. I just wasn't like, oh, because my mom worked on the state on the station, she's gonna push it to all her connects and whatever. No, I went back into the studio for another 2-3 months. And when I brought her the finished package, she said, yeah, man, ready now. And she jumped on the team and started to work. So my mom, because of the fact that she knows how the business is, and maybe especially because maybe I am her daughter and people would be like, oh, she's coming from a musical background, she grilled me. I didn't
Yeah.
get away. Like, I wasn't able to be like, oh, any little song we're gonna put out there and she's gonna play. She said, let me tell you something, this not ready yet, it have to fix this, that. And I really appreciated her. Like at that point I was like, upset. But then when she pushed me to do better and whatever, it was a push because I could hear the different stuff that I need to work on, because my mom is a professional. If it don't
Mhm.
sound good, don't come to her with the foolishness.
Definitely.
She knows music, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm privileged to watch your progress also, with you growing up. And I know you're a very, very, very ambitious and hardworking person.
Hmm.
And you also have manage and operate Diva Salon also, which
Yeah.
you have
So
to.
that's how I actually got my name. So I literally had Diva Salon. I opened up my first salon when I was 17.
Wow,
17.
that's
So
impressive. That's impressive.
I was working at downtown Guy Concordia at that. Man, for said that, none of Kabuja place, I was in the heart of Concordia for almost like 15 years. And then I ended up getting my own place. But I was there almost from I was 15 until I ended up renting a chair and then taking like over like a section in
Wow.
the whole, So I've always had that like that
That drive
that
in there.
persona about me.
Mm. So you're kind of like a trendsetter for your peers or people surrounding you then.
I think so. I would only hope so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I remember even young kids coming who wanted to do stage and stuff. They're like, oh, she has her own salon or whatever. How did you get into it and whatever? And I used to tell them, oh, I went to school, but you have to be serious and so on and so forth. And where I ended up doing my course, I did my bachelor's in cosmetology. So I was actually able to teach too. I used to teach for Dudley's and Walmart too.
Mhm.
So I took stuff pretty serious. I knew what I wanted. I'm gonna just go for it. Didn't know if anybody was to tell me like years from now that I would actually be doing like singing on a whole international level like this. Because when I started, I had one song. My cousin even used to make fun of me. What? I
Only one song.
to sing that song. In love to you. Now I have over like 25 singles that's put out and stuff that
Whoa.
went out because my new album, which is an album and not EP, it's not out yet. So if somebody would have told me like, oh, I would have been doing music, flying to different countries, somebody would have to pinch me. I only went in, I could tell you, with a mind that this is what I want to do. I do want to get somewhere and I do want to travel. I've always been inspired to like travel and like sing for people, love to entertain. I could tell you that when we hit the stage, it's a different feeling. So I knew this is what I want to do, but I didn't think that things would even progress that fast. But if you work hard, then you can get anything. When I prayed too, definitely a firm believer in a God,
So you have to have that spiritualism in you.
Yeah, I could tell you any shows, like I was real brave too. I would reach to Toronto and I remember one time late in the night, I don't think my dad was around. I remember Toronto's a big city, but just trying to get my name around or out in Toronto because I do have a name in Toronto City. I remember the promoter called me and he's like, listen, you have to get here, such and such a place. Listen, when I realized that the taxi ride was going to be $200, I was like, it's either $100 or I'm going to take the bus on the metro. I put the bus on the metro. I was about it because they're paying you a big amount of money. So it's either you're going to take that out of your pay or I took the bus on metro, or in Toronto, they call it the TTT, because I was like, I'm getting to this show tonight. There's going to be other promoters there. And from that show, I ended up opening for Tifa the week after.
Whoa.
So if I for Tifa, I don't know if you're familiar with that. She's a dancer. Tifa.
Yeah, man. What do you mean?
So I had even said to myself, why? What if I didn't go to this show? And I said, oh, you know what? I'm not going to go because it's late. I'm not going to take the bus, or I'm not going to. I pushed myself and I'm like, nah, man, you never know who you're going to meet. You never know who can watch you. And that same night, as I got my pay, the promoter came and he's like, listen, beautiful voice. We love how you work. Are you going to be here another week? And I'm like, yeah, man, it's March break in Montreal. I'm here for about 4 or 5 more days. And I ended up opening for Tifa. So you just take every gig in the beginning of a singing career. You have to take what you can get because you don't know what's gonna where. You know what I mean?
You never know who's listening, who's looking, and who's there. Yeah, you know. Let me take us back again, because you also had your own gig on the Montreal Reggae Fest, but you also back vocals, like you said, for Bandolero, Pinchers, and Glen Washington. And how did those gigs come about?
Okay, so Bandolero, because of the fact at the time I was working with Carlton Fashions on Sherbrooke Street. They had sent him down. It was Diva Salon and then Carlton Fashions. Carlton Fashions is actually, he's a big designer here in Montreal. So basically how it went is that he came in one day in flashy jacket or whatever. And I'm like, Carlton, who's that? And he said, oh, Pinchers or whatever. He said, oh, these entertainers, they come in, he had bling all over. Like, entertainer. So then he came in the back. And he's like, oh, we're looking for somebody to maybe do like an extra sound on his show or whatever. And he's like, oh, you know what? Check Diva. She can't sing or whatever. At that time, I was with In the Roots, still had like 1 or 2 singles or whatever, but I wasn't like, I wasn't booked for Reggae Fest either. So, but when he asked me to come on board, I was like, cool. So I ended up singing that same single because I had Making Love to You out at that time. I ended up singing it on his rhythm. And then he ended up singing Agony and then dancing. And then he flung me off of the stage to tell you the honest truth. That song, I want the agony. But then agony, he sang that and he was dancing with me. But boy, I tell you, it was an experience. So I sang on the rhythm, my song, Making Love to You. I sang that on the agony rhythm, and then he continued and we danced, and it was a big thing. And everywhere I went, I remember like 2 to 3 days after, everybody was like, agony. It was a nice experience because for me, it's just like that opened up other doors to other things. Opened up doors for other things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you hear that for yourself. People, is not the mother who got her the gig. She happened to be in the right place at the right time.
Yes.
Size up yourself, man. Don't bother with people. Size up yourself,
Listen, I was definitely very speaky spokey, as in like, if I see an opportunity, I'm going for that. You understand what I mean? I'm definitely going for that opportunity. And no, I could be shy, but I wasn't shy to say, oh, I'm gonna turn down something. Like if I see an open opportunity and I could ask to be on something, or I have an EP coming, how could I get stuff? Brian Codler, who was my manager at the time, who's still my Canadian manager, but I have a team in Jamaica. He used to get me onto shows, but I was very much like, if I had something in Toronto and I knew a connect, I wasn't afraid to ask. Another thing too is that it wasn't hard to splash over in Toronto because I used to dance and do Dancehall Queen in Toronto for different shows. So all of the promoter were like, hold on, this dancehall girl, she could sing now? So I had the connections from being a dancer. So now it's like, I'm singing now. They're like, start Met Me Drops. Different sound people used to reach out and say, what? She can't sing too. What else? You know what I mean? So like, listen, do you wanna like do this? And I was like, sure. Different shows and stuff. I would get on big shows. And yeah.
So before CP comes in, I just want to touch on, lately you recently did a tour with, again, the great Macka Diamond, So tell us a little bit about that. To Panama, I think it was.
Yeah, I went to Panama City. I went to Panama.
Yeah, you can just share that little experience with us, and then CP.
Yeah. So Macka, from doing like the video, and we had a song called You a Diva, it was always a blessing. It was always a blessing, like, to know her, but they needed somebody to open up for her and some other local artists. And I want to say local, other artists that were on it were from New York City. But the two biggest artists of the tour was Macka Diamond and oh Lord, Dueno. Dueno was another big artist on it. He has a big song. He was a part of Cartel's camp. So they needed somebody. So when she invited me for the opportunity, I was definitely down. I first had went to meet her in New York. And then we then flew with everybody to Panama. And I'm telling you, for me, I was like, okay, this is my first major tour. So what to expect? You know, you don't know what to expect. You know what I mean? True. How are they gonna receive your music? How are they gonna like you? So on and so forth. You know what I mean? Boy, Malton, when we reach over there, it happened that everybody on the tour was DJs. I was the only singer. You understand? So it worked in my favor. So even the first show, from I started to sing, they were like, wow. You know, I didn't understand when I came off stage. Well, we kind of research a little bit of Spanish, you know, but that's enough. You know, that's enough. Like, you know,
gracias.
I used to say, me te llamo Diva, Miss Diva. Like, hi, Kita. I used to be like, me te llamo Miss Diva. You know, I knew how to say hi, my name is Miss Diva and stuff like that. When I came off the stage, the girl was saying, oh, baby, give me autograph. And I said autograph. No, I need an autograph. You understand?
So you give autograph too?
Yeah, me give autograph down there. It was easy. It was easy to understand. Or they would say, mommy, picture. At least they were saying it in Spanish, so I understand picture.
So you felt like a big star then?
Yeah, I can tell you that when we reach him, I'm a real fan. You know, getting one thing though, when you're on tour, it's like you're there for 4 days, but you have interviews and you're literally moving, even if it's one city, you're moving 3 times in those 4 days. So you barely get no sleep. You have interviews, you have like press stuff, you have rehearsals and so on and so forth. So it was definitely like a good experience to see how it's done in the real world, like professional, and that trained me. You know what I mean?
And you feel much like bigger than how you are because you're more received or better received outside than locally.
Another thing, I was kind of saying to myself, oh, will they appreciate, because most of my stuff is like reggae, but then you have dancehall as well. So I cut them piece of the dancehall too, you know, and they much really enjoyed, especially the last show that we had that was ending the tour. It was actually like on the waters and the club was really nice and it was a beautiful experience. They really love reggae. And at the end of my sets, I cut them a piece of, what did I do? I did like a dancehall track, but it was on the Punani rhythm, and I danced too. We showed them some dance too, so they really like that. The Panamanian people too, like you would swear that they're Jamaican. They're into the culture. They're definitely culture. Yeah.
Yeah, and it brings to what people have been echoing in Jamaica, that it's not only in Jamaica there's food to eat. There's food outside of Jamaica much outside of Jamaica as you know.
Even at the station, the music that the guy was playing, it was so crazy to hear him say, boy, I don't know, like an example of what he would be like, right now, introducing, Miss Diva. Like, he says it, but he says it with a Jamaican accent, you know? So he definitely plays reggae music, dancehall music, like he's fully into the culture, but he's having his little Spanish mix in between, you know? So even after he said, listen, give me contact for you, you know, like, they, you know, them have the, like they understand the culture, definitely. True. Definitely.
Yeah,
so that was definitely a good opportunity. Big up Macka, you know, because she definitely has been like a, you know, like a
big sister kind of thing to you.
Yeah, I can tell you, like I can always call her and say, listen, how you think this sound or whatever, and she has gave me like links and how to get certain stuff done when it comes to like your career and especially how to stay strong. And she's like, listen, in this industry, Diva, she's like, let me tell you something. If you don't stand up strong, the man them push you over. Like, you know, there was something on the trip where we were going to do like sound check. I said, listen to me, if you don't go take the mic, them would have sing whole night, you know, go up there and go tell them so you're ready for this. I was just singing like, okay, well, when it's my turn, they'll call me. She said, no, we'll be here all night, okay? Like, tell them say you're ready. Tell them you're ready, You know what I mean? She's a definitely, and one thing, Macka down to earth.
Mm. I
Down
noticed
to
that, man. Yeah.
earth. Earth.
Miss Diva,
Yeah, hi.
I would like to start on a different note because it's something that been bugging me all the time as a radio producer and it's come to deal with finance. A lot of artists make the money. The producer or the manager take the portion. But at the end of the day, it look like the artist is going home empty pocket. When come to manage your finances, do you have a handle on how your finances is being handled?
Well, you see, I will tell you this much, right? Because right now things is getting a little bit more serious. My big up Carleone Entertainment. So my manager, my international manager is in Jamaica, right? And then I work with in the root, well, Brian from In the Roots Records still does some of my bookings and stuff, right? So for me, I still have a good control over how much I'm being paid for event and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Because at this point, it would only be like if I went on like a major tour, I would have to pay PR, road manager, so on and so forth, depending on where you're going. But if I have a simple booking or stuff, I know what goes on. You know what I mean? I definitely knows what goes on. I mean, I will tell you that in the beginning, when Uncle Stretch had told me that this is a dog eat dog business, are you sure you're ready for this business? I'm telling you, I have tears in my eyes, man, because when I think certain people, promoters, people that were involved in my career were actually supposed to be doing me right, them literally I tried to dig up my eye, but literally there was not really for dig because me just a start. So really and truly, it's like to me like, what? So these are the little things that maybe my uncle who runs the radio here was like, you have to be careful or whatever, because one thing too, you're a pretty little fierce. So if people don't come across of taking you serious, you understand what I'm saying? They will definitely try to take advantage. So you have to definitely be on top of your game. Definitely.
Because just recently a Jamaican
I
dancehall artist decided to
more, right?
decided to pull out of the business because of the same situation. So that's why I bring that forward to you.
I waited a little bit because I said, you're the interviewer. You are asked the question, So I was like, should I say first, like Chanel more, or wait for you to see if you're going to on it? You understand? Me know, remember, me follow reggae, me follow dancehall. So the last couple nights, me I tell you, when she a cry, me I cry too. She is a good artist. So to tell you the honest truth, like, and she's a female. To think that a manager will do this, and sometimes they'll say, a manager can be a damager,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm lucky too that my manager in Jamaica, Carleone Entertainment, this is my actual blood family. You understand? This is my blood family. So me can tell her him not gonna rob me. You understand? So I really do. I have a good trust team around me, and also from that, my mom is actually on my team where she helps a lot too when a booking comes along and all of that. But a lot of people don't understand, like, it takes hard work, because even if like Tippy, yeah. So understand this, even for me as like a way smaller artist than to Chanel more, right? If a promoter booked me for $600, remember that $600 is not really yours, If you do have management to get something, remember, hair and clothes have to come out of that. And if you're going to be in this industry today, you can't go wishy-washy. So to see anybody as a manager would want to rob somebody, it takes the joy out of the music. You understand what I'm saying? So I definitely feel it for Chanel. So you definitely have to have like your head on your game, because remember, this is how you eat, this is how you make your money, and in this time you probably are helping a lot of people, because she come from Jamaica. She have people that she's probably helping, her mother, her father, or whatever the case may be.
You see, that's the problem, because most of the female artists come onto this program seem to be one of the things that they're really concerned about is the treatment that they get from the male counterpart, especially going to shows where the male have been taken care of properly, and it's like the female getting what's left behind on the table. So that's one of the things really bugs me a little bit, so that
Yeah, no,
I always bring it out front when I talk to female artists.
no. I will tell you, sir, honestly, like if it's like if it's not like a international booking or a Toronto booking or whatever, I will either deal with it or my mother will deal with it. But certain, because of the time, I'll reach there and they'll be like, oh, here's your this or whatever. I'm gonna have to check the package just to make sure them give me the right thing. You understand what I'm saying? Because sometimes they think that you don't know or you won't say it because you're female. Oh, you know what? Milk shards are, even if it's a 50 or a 60 or 100 or whatever, yeah, they will try. But if you're not firm in this business, I'm telling you, you get walkover. I saw it going on. Them just go like this. If you don't stay on top of your guard as a female, and last year I was a part of Mazani's Sister Fest, and we had a conference about what it is to be a female artist in this industry, and have we ever been through experiences with males? Because remember, we're in a male dominated business, male dominated business. A lot of females are jumping out the box now, but we had like a conference about this, and we had like a write-up. I think the write-up was actually published, but it was a serious thing. And to hear these stories of what other females go through being in the business, people trying to take advantage if it wasn't in the studio, if it wasn't, these are real life serious situations. That's true. It happens. So if you don't stand your guard, definitely, if you think that you're going to come into the reggae business or even the hip hop industry business and you're not strong enough, then this race is not for you. No, I'm telling you, you have to stand your grounds. It's for real.
Okay, in case you just joined us, we're having a conversation with the only diva, Montreal Diva.
Miss Diva.
Montreal Miss Diva. I have to say Montreal Diva because I know you're a diva from a long time, So Miss Montreal Diva. She's a reggae singer, and she's a former dancehall queen, owner operator of Diva Salon, and many much more in the making. Miss Diva.
Hold on, sorry. Before you cut, I just want everybody to know, because I'm not sure if you know about this. So I actually, you see, I don't know if you could see it.
Oh, no.
I have a lipstick line. Yeah. And
we got to talk about it after. Hold it. Just keep it close. You're going to talk about it after. See, there's so much. See, I told you this woman is out for greatness, So who would you compare your singing style to in the music fraternity?
Who does my voice sound like?
Your style, or who would you say you're close to in terms of your style, your music style, musically?
From the get-go, I was a big lover of Etana.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people say I sound almost or exact to be almost like Etana. I would say like a Sugar, a Tifa, because those are like Sing J. Those are like Sing J's, which I sing J well. So if I'm not doing a lover's rock, I could sing J, definitely.
Right.
Like
so,
a Chanel Moore. A Chanel Moore as well.
Chanel Moore. Yeah, I can see you're a big Chanel Moore fan too.
Yeah, it just came out. But definitely who I get told I sound exactly like is Etana a lot too.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm gonna come up to the number one girl in a minute, but I just want to ask you this. Do you ever consider singing? Because I know some people compare you to your voice to that of R&B flavor. Right?
How do you do that? Just asking, because I had other.
I mean, the news around the diva is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. You don't have to pause on it, know the diva to hear what's going on with the diva. The diva making.
Another radio announcer said the same thing. Like we hear the R&B as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the news are circulating, man. See, that's how big you are. Have you ever considered being in the new genre, the trap dance hall?
You know what? Let me tell you something. I have to be 100% comfortable with something, but because I know I grew up, like when I had to sing at talent shows, I wasn't really doing reggae, listening reggae all the time. And for some reason, I could catch on to the lyrics. Like I could catch on to the lady song. Like I was like 14. I could spit bars, like rap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. More than I could rap now. I could rap when I was 14, 15. Because I catch on fast. Like the lyrics, I just catch on really fast. But in high school, I was doing like a lot of Monica, like a lot of Lauryn Hill, a lot of Beyonce. Like, yeah, you couldn't tell me. Me a Destiny's Child itself.
Because that's why I look at trap dancehall. I think trap dancehall is more R&B singing in patois. If you
Yeah,
really, you know.
To tell you the honest truth, like, I definitely would say, like, the album is basically pressed to be finished. But if I do have time, don't know if I will, because honestly, we literally have a launching date. I'm going to Jamaica. I'll be in Jamaica in January to launch my album. But if I do have time and I could get into the studio, we tell him all the time, I'm gonna do something like that. I'm gonna call you and say, listen this. If it could fit, if there's time, yeah, and everything is not pressed. I would definitely like to try. Yeah.
Before we get into the album, just give us a little piece of a cappella so that listeners can hear voice. I remember, we have most of our listeners are from Europe, and we're just making inroads into Africa too. So not only North America is the world. We're bringing you to the world, well, to a bigger world, because you're done in the world already. So we're bringing you to the wider world. So a lot of Europeans are listening right now. You are also, so let me hear the voice of a real diva then.
Okay, you want something from my old, or you want something new? Something old or something new?
Anything, man, anything that bring out the flavor,
Okay, so this is from my new album that's coming out. It's called Time on Time. It's actually a collab, but I'll do my part. It goes, time on time I try to find the reason why to call you mine. Always running through my mind. Gently you blow my mind, yeah. Can we give this love a try? Can we give this love a try? Yeah.
Oh, there you have it, Diva. Let me tell you, I heard you a few years ago, but I'm telling you this time, your vocals tap a tap, man. They tap up there. Trust me. Trust me. If you want to sing for me without me seeing you, I would say, nah, that's the Diva. But I'm waiting for the EP, and when that EP comes out, you have to come on Vinci Internet Radio to come and drop it too.
Do you guys have like where the other announcer is there an in-house studio I could get to?
Yeah, he's in-house studio. Yeah, we can arrange that. Don't worry.
Oh, definitely I will come. Ottawa's one place, a matter of fact, that I come a lot, but it's usually with my band, and we're downtown Ottawa. We're downtown Ottawa. So now that the pandemic has moved, like, it's not as bad as before. We were coming literally like 2 to 3 times last year. End of summer last year, I did 2 shows, I think, last year Christmas, downtown Ottawa. Can't remember the name of the club, but I was there, and always a success. Yeah, when I'm there. Yeah, the only reason I wasn't on the festival, like they had a festival there, I believe, is because I was booked for another festival here. Definitely, but I definitely have a collab with somebody coming out from Ottawa. So definitely, I definitely know I will be on the Ottawa side soon for sure.
Right, and just keep us up to date with that collab also, because we want to, what we do, we like to push people, in the front, and let them, expose and sell themselves and stuff like that. But coming up to number 1 girl now, tell us how that came about, and first of all, is it a story of your life or just fictional?
Well, most of the time when I write, it's usually off of a story for somebody, or it's actually an experience. One guy, I remember, it's his birthday today. Big up yourself, Sampalu, happy birthday.
Big up Sampalu, big up yourself.
He asked me, said, boy, Diva, you get your heart broken before, boy, something, boy. I said, why you ask here? But listen your songs, but listen.
You mean Sampalu, who else DJ, right?
Yeah, Sampalu, yeah.
Yeah, Sampalu, all right. Big up yourself, Sample.
It's his birthday today, so happy birthday. Basically, if it's not an experience that I went through, it's something from the outside. But I would tell you, no shame when I'm a game. I wrote that song for my son's dad. You understand? Me, I make it clear to him, say, yo, if I'm me, and if I she, I want to be a number 1. You understand? And I wrote for him, but then I remember my girlfriend was telling me, she's like, my other than my singer name, Alicia, she's like, let me tell you something, Alicia, I'm telling you, I wish that I could just be this guy's number one, you know? I was like, start the pen and paper right away.
Mm.
So I actually went, I recorded with Vern Maytone from out of Montreal. So the rhythm was given to me and I just went in and started to spit bars, to tell you the honest truth. I wrote a little bit, but most of it was done in the studio.
Because it's
And
in
for
the
some,
heart already.
we finished same time, same night. It was just for me to come back and mix and master. I think in an hour and a half, 2 hours, we were done. As in, like, I came in with like, I wanna be a number one girl. I came in with that, but the whole no time to play games. This love I have for you will never ever change. All of that was what I was feeling in the heart one time.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
was able
man.
to fit right in the mic right away without like, usually most of my songs are right and then I'll be looking up and then recording at the same time. But this was just exactly what I was feeling at the moment, exactly what I decided to say.
Yeah, but and you can't really feel pride, when you take, what's inside of you, because
Yeah.
it's a form of therapy, I think you're.
Music is therapeutic.
Yeah, of course. So and people can connect to it better when they hear, boy, Miss Montreal Diva went through that experience. So
Yeah.
they
And
like to
then
come to me too.
when the song came out, um at the time I have a good relationship from one of the one of the brothers at my church or whatever. He would drive me around or stuff like that. Like we're very good, you know. And he was like, Diva, everywhere I go, me hear the people that must say, I wanna be your number one girl. I hear people telling their man or their husband or whatever, I wanna be your number one. You know, it started to like, a good thing. So the video is hot and spicy. And guess what? Today actually is 1 year that I recorded the music video for Number One Girl. So if you guys didn't see it, go log on my YouTube. Please check it out, Number One Girl.
Yeah, I think I might have to do a counter to it too. Don't worry. I'll have to ask for permission.
Yeah, 2
Uh,
years that video.
no, I said I might have to ask for permission to do a counter to it too. So coming up to the EP though, what should we expect, or what should the listeners expect from the EP that's coming out?
I would definitely say a lot of growth. That's for
Mhm.
a lot of growth. I took a little risk. I took a risk with, I would say, the sound. So I definitely, you'll get like the lovers rock that you used to like you heard on my other EP, and then you heard a lot of like the soft R&B and stuff.
Mhm.
I pushed it a notch. I picked it up a little bit of the notch with the ballads and stuff like that. And then I had one producer before for my first EP, but for this I got rhythms from different producers. Some from my management camp.
Mhm.
One rhythm was actually from Coffee's camp, Coffee, the reggae singer. You know what I mean? So I think it's a mixed diversity of reggae and some
Mhm.
beautiful ballads.
Mhm.
I have a nice collab on there with Zantelli. We just shot the video for that in the summer, and that's hot and spicy. That's the song that I just sang for you guys, time on time. But definitely like a lot of growth. I definitely was during the pandemic, so some of the things that I was seeing going around at that time, because remember in the pandemic we had a lot of a lot of innocent black people were dying. So for me, I was like, this is crazy. Maybe I have to put pen to paper about that too.
Mhm.
So anything I see going on, I'm gonna write about. There was a lot of crazy stuff during the pandemic. We weren't only dealing with Corona, but it was a time where we were noticing that a lot of innocent black people were getting killed too. So I have a song about that. I actually have it's not a combination, but the same rhythm that I'm on, that's actually on my album. Luciano is also on the rhythm too. So that was pretty cool, for me to have that experience as well. And so there's a bit of love, there's a bit of culture, and definitely you're gonna hear like the growth in my voice, the growth in the music. So
Mhm. So
definitely, definitely can't wait, because I actually was supposed to release this before summer, but because I had went on the little tour, so on and so forth, it never happened. And then I was kind of getting like anxious, and my manager's like, let me tell you something, just wait, get
Mhm.
everything done properly, because I wanted it to be like a summer album. You know, some parts people is listening and stuff like that. So we finally picked a date and it's January, you know what I mean? So I even ended up working extra on the music, fine tuning stuff, getting the backup vocals finished properly. So it's definitely gonna be something to listen to. So definitely come back or let you know exactly what date in January it's gonna drop. But definitely it's something that I'm very excited to drop.
And number one girl is your favorite one. What else? What other songs that we can look forward to? That's very therapeutic to us.
Loving You is nice. Number One Girl is nice. Um, You Don't Know My Story is nice because that's basically,
I like the title of that one.
yeah, that one is a nice one too. It's a lot of things, but they don't know my story. They see me as the real McCoy, always trying to take my joy. Oh Jaja, walk with me. Through my pain and pressures, I turn to you. We can't sing everything for you guys. You guys are for bye.
You touch me, you know. You touch me, man. Trust me. You touch me. You touch me. You touch me.
It's kind of like you know, that one I had wrote because at the end of the day, everybody goes through something. You know what I mean? I always feel that whether you're avatar or not, oh, she gets stuff easy or whatever the case may be. It was June Corona time and everybody was going through like a hard. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Definitely. That song is a lot to me too because I actually have my son's name in it, you know. So that son's name is Dream. So I have a bar in it where I say, I look at my son dream. And like that song when I had wrote, I was like, oh, it's gonna be nice, you know. Hopefully, like if I decide to, maybe if I drop the video, he will be in it. My son is a big part of making me feel like I could do this too. Because when I get dressed to go to shows, I say, how do I look, Papa? Here, you look pretty diva.
Diva, hold on. And CP will tell you, you told me 40 minutes, but nobody really comes on here for 40 minutes, you know. And we haven't even gone through half of the story yet.
Are you serious?
How long? We're 40 minutes. We have time, you know. It's your time. We don't care. We have time. It's you. But anyway, with the music now, let's do some promoting in the product before I pass back to CP again. Let's tell us about is there a lipstick you have there?
Yeah, actually.
Tell us how it came about and stuff like that and how people can get it.
Okay, so basically, you could definitely contact me for one personally if you call 514-588-8669. I have a website, but it's relaunching. So basically, you could log on, I would say from next week, right? I would say from November 1st, they'll be available actually online. And my website is mtlmissdiva.com, but you could log on from November 1st, right? And you could always get me on Instagram if you want to purchase one, and I ship worldwide. And that's MTL Miss Diva.
Yeah, well, don't worry. We'll give you another chance to give out all that information. Don't worry. But tell us about the lipstick itself now. What colors does it come with and stuff like that?
Okay, so basically, this is actually
show it to the people, man.
Yeah, it's a purple. This is actually a part of my fall line. I'm gonna try to open it. Yeah, so this is a purple. This is actually one of the matte colors. And I have six different new colors that I'll be introducing basically at the end of November. It was supposed to be November, but I'm introducing it at the end of November. So you'll have it right through the winter. And I do have a summer line. So I always had like my lipstick line came out in 2019. And then I relaunched colors, and then I'm coming out with my fall line. So of course it's called Diva. we have the reds, we have purples, we have the pinks, you know what I mean? The browns are in for the ladies for falls. They are matte, and you don't have to worry about a lot of chemicals because we use a lot of natural ingredients. Like I took my time like to research this. First, actually my first love, what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a shampoo and conditioner because I am also a hairstylist, but I put that on hold because I'm very much into makeup, being an artist, want to have merch as a hairstylist. I was like, boy, let me do a lipstick. And I started to research everything. And boy, it just started to work. I literally think the first time I launched, my mom was like, oh, you should have had more. They were sold out. I think I had 10 left. And the 10 that were left were actually like the bright pinks. And that would make sense because at the time we weren't in summer. So definitely when it launches, I'm going to keep in contact with Sayers World. You know, I will just send a text.
Of course. Whenever the colors come, don't worry. You just call me. We set it up again. You come on and we're going to strictly talk about, you know, your line of product, and we can still talk about music as well. You know, so don't worry. We're all for, you know, promoting, and remember we're also doing up this for YouTube as well, so it will stay there forever, you know. So I'm gonna pass it to CP, and then when we come back, we're gonna wrap up, okay?
Like when you next you back in Ottawa, just let us know, and we can do some promotion for your band or for you, whatever you want to do. So don't be shy. Just get in touch with Moulton, and we can always work on some promotion for you.
Okay, definitely. Yeah. It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
Yeah, no problem. Just let us know, man. And because as Moulton say, our thing is just to promote. We give everybody the opportunity to sell themselves. Anytime you come on here, you come to sell yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that.
We just here to ask the question, but you are the one who taking the lead and whatever direction you want to go.
Yeah.
Saying that, where do you get the motivation to write?
Like I had said before, I think like it's definitely sometimes the last song that I'm actually writing on, I don't know if it's gonna be on my EP. I doubt it. It could just come out as a single. I heard somebody talking about something, and I heard the rhythm. So it's either the rhythm will lick me, and it will say love, it will say party, it will be like a girl's anthem. But basically, a lot of what I do go through, but what's going on around me, basically, you know what I mean? Basically, what I see going on around me, like, yeah, for sure.
All right, I just pass it back to Moulton to wrap up for the day.
Yeah, so Diva, there's so much I could sit here and say, but I just want to give you the chance now to tell people where they can contact you, give them your Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want to give them, everything.
Definitely find me at MTL Miss Diva. That's Instagram, Facebook, MTL Miss Diva / Alicia Anderson. You can find me there. Bookings 514-588-8669. And my management is actually listed on my page, which is Carleona Entertainment. Big up Carleona Entertainment. You don't know, my album is dropping January, so I will be back before then for sure. I have a collab that's coming out with somebody from the nation capital. I won't say who it is now, but definitely it's going to be a love collab, and it's very hot and spicy. My new video is dropping before the album drops, so look out for that. And basically January, it's all about the album. When I go to Jamaica, definitely I can't wait to release it because it's way overdue. It's supposed to be released from last year. So definitely there's people that even asked, they're like, you've been saying coming. We have a month, people. It's January. So big up to everybody that's been following me, and you know what I mean? And the love has been mutual with everybody. Thanks for all the radio stations playing my music. And yeah, big up my band too. Big up Uprising Band. That's who I work with here in Montreal if I do have a gig. I think the next show that I do have coming up, guys, is Luton Fire. It's a festival down at the Caribbean Food Factory. I'll be there opening for Luton Fire with the Uprising Band, and I believe it's December. I don't want to say the wrong date, so I will post a flyer to my Instagram, which is MTL Miss Diva. But Luton Fire will be in Canada, guys, Montreal, and it's kind of like a festival. So if you guys love reggae, you guys want to see a live band, Luton Fire, Caribbean Food Factory, I will post the date so I don't say it wrong on my Instagram. And thank you guys, Sayers World, for having me. Big up Europe, Africa. 2023, I will be in Africa. You guys said that Africa listeners are listening.
But yeah, we're making big inroads right now into Africa. We even had an African artist last weekend on our show. So we really making it big, and it's really big in Europe, and it's now expanded into Africa. So
Okay, yeah. So
As you say, you never know who's listening.
always wanted to go. So 2023 Africa, I will definitely be there. So look out for Miss Diva. That's where the roots and reggae come from. So can't wait to be there. So definitely thank you guys for having me. Yeah.
MTL, Miss Diva. We can't keep up with you because there's just too much to process. Really, but like I say, size up yourself for greatness. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we can't wait to have you back again.
But listen, I was very shocked. You know, some have to tease you a little bit. Me never know, say you would do the radio. Me think say it would have been the other guy, and I must say, I feel like it's a big time interview. But me never have it in you to be the interviewer, Milton.
So what do you mean a big time? What do you mean big time interview? So what
no, well, I wasn't on the program, but you sound
too
like
big, don't worry. Too big timer here. Too big timer.
No, I'm telling you, I
know.
I was in my head. I was like, no man, I'm turned big interviewer.
Don't worry, I was one shy like you. Don't worry.
Oh.
But it's been a while now, so the experience is growing. So things are
up there. Yeah, you're up
there. Maybe there was a reason you never came before. So
yeah, that's supposed to be one of the first artists that you would have interviewed in the first batch. But I'm glad, you know what, nothing before it's time.
True say things, I'm a big timer, eh?
What? You're so large now, so I love you guys. Download.
Yeah, continue. Of course. Continue to make great music and good luck in your new venture, the lipstick again. I'm impressed again. Every time I see you, you seem to amaze me. Like there's always a surprise in a good way though. In a good way, there's always a good surprise on your side. So like we'll keep in touch because everybody who comes on to Vince Internet Radio is automatic family. So
all right, definitely. Where I'll probably try coming live in studio with you guys, and anything I have coming, I'll keep the link and I'll be a regular on the program. I'll keep you guys updated with the album. And when the video drops, maybe I could come on and have
we can analyze the video too. We also do that. We break it down, we analyze it, and so don't worry.
All right.
Just to let you know that on Tuesday nights from 8 o'clock, I don't know how many songs I'll have for you this week on the program, but we do have a reggae program on basically on Tuesday night, and most late nights is basically reggae up until about say 4 5 o'clock in the morning. So anytime you want to log on, you might just be hearing a couple of your songs.
Oh, thank you, blessed love. I will definitely. Moulton, send me all the links.
The links, don't worry.
I'll definitely keep in touch and I'll listen because I've always different radios. Like this week, I was on another radio station, but it was in Barbados. So all the internet radios and stuff, and everybody that play my music. God bless you guys. You understand? So love and respect.
Peace.
Enjoy.
Blessed love. Enjoy the Saturday.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. And don't forget, you'll be back on Vinci Internet Radio.